Welcome in to another edition of the JMU Sports News Podcast. I'm Bennett, Conlin, joined by Jack Fitzpatrick. And the Dukes are back.
Back like they never left, baby.
Offense, no mistakes. Best offense in the country. Defense, second half shutout again. No questions asked.
Yeah. All right. Next week. See you next week.
See you next week, guys. Thanks for coming in.
I do shout out Mike Regan. He bought us a couple of coffees last week. So appreciate him for doing that. But he said last week we started a little slow, so I wanted to keep with. He said are gummies part of the pre-show routine, and I was like, how does he know what our pre-show routine is?
Yeah, that's how we get going. But this was good. This was by far the best performance of JMU football season.
They got going. They got going in a hurry. They looked. I mean, is this the best they've looked under Bob Chesney?
Yeah, I mean, the Ball State game was good, but I think given the opponent, ODU is a good team, and I think that's what stood out. I was there in the press box, folks. Yay. Yay for me. But Nick DeGennaro after the game was like...
Dog.
Yeah, and he was talking about how they really respected ODU, which made it more eye-opening for the team, I think, is they think the Monarchs are really good. He eventually basically said to Rigger that he thought the Marshall ODU game was kind of a fluke. So to blow out Old Dominion, I think, means a lot to this JMU team. And it does show like what their ceiling can be, but I don't know if it's going to be like this every week, but there's some positives to take from it for sure.
I mean, yeah, a ton of positives to take from it. I mean, the biggest one, wait, before we get there, I do want to just shout out our friends over at Sign Pros.
Yes.
You can check out their new online shop option. It allows you to get some of their products online. Go to mysignpros.net/shop. Say that 10 times fast. /shop. Try it.
Oh, that's really hard. Wow, they got to change that for us.
mysignpros.net/shop.
Oh,
That's tough.
I don't like that.
But appreciate them being a sponsor of the show. Appreciate them supporting the show. They've been fantastic. We get some really, really great printed materials from them. If you ever make it out to our live shows, we've got stickers from them. We've got an awesome tablecloth. I'm going to have to be getting another tablecloth here shortly for JMU Sports News in case we do any live shows there. But appreciate everything they've done for us. If you want to be a sponsor of the program, you can email us, jmusportsnews@gmail.com. You can slide into our Instagram DMs, our Twitter DMs, at JMU Sports News on both of those. We're always looking for new sponsors, and we can create really any package that fits your budget. So don't be afraid to reach out, start that conversation. We don't bite. And if you want to support but you don't have a business to promote, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. That's buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. We appreciate each and every one who buys us a coffee. Like we said at the start of the show, Mike, he gave us a little tough, little joshing about starting slow last week. But yeah. All right. So. Every Monday, go to the house with former JMU quarterback Vad Lee and Hall of Famer Delvin Joyce. It's the weekly JMU football podcast with insider insight you won't find anywhere else from two guys who've worn the jersey. Listen now. Subscribe to the JMU Sports News Podcast Network to never miss an episode of To the House every Monday. For more than 20 years, SignPro has been proudly serving the Valley, helping local businesses stand out and get noticed. Whether it's vehicle wraps that turn heads on the road, dimensional signs that elevate your storefront, or long-lasting banners with yard signs, we bring quality and experience to every project. With a reputation built on craftsmanship and trust, we're here to make your message impossible to miss. Visit mysignpros.net and let's showcase your business with confidence. That's mysignpros.net. Big win, huge play. Don't just remember it, wear the moment. Breaking Tea makes shirts that capture the game's biggest highlights right as they happen. Gear up today using the link in the description. College football's back, and it's time to upgrade your game day gear. Right now, claim 15% off at Home Field. The best retro and vintage apparel in the game. Rep JMU in style. Don't wait. Check the link in description to get your 15% off. Alonza Barnett. What a performance.
He was good, man. He was really good.
I was on Warm Weather Fans earlier this week talking about it, and they were like, what? How does he have over 400 yards of offense, 6 touchdowns, when 2 weeks ago he had less than 100 passing yards and looked like the worst quarterback in the Sun Belt? What did it look like from your perspective up in the press box?
It's the Alonza Barnett experience, it seems, right? it's kind of up and down at times, but he was really good in this game. It also seemed like they kind of unleashed the offense a little bit. That Donnie Kirkpatrick's secret playbook that you brought up is always good to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I really thought we would have saw that in 2016. It was wild that we see it 9 years later, but hey, we saw it.
Yeah, and I almost felt as simple as they used RPOs and play action more. So I was looking through the numbers. Against Georgia State, they had 3 dropbacks that were play action. Alonza was 3 for 3 for 24 yards. So, very good. Solid. 8 yards attempt, not terrible. He completed every pass. And then every time they didn't do that, it was bad. So, they have this great running game where, why don't they do more play action? Well, in this game, they did. Not a crazy amount of volume, but a ton of success. He was 6 for 7 on play action passes for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. So it was 23.6 yards per attempt. The DeGeneiro touchdown was that little RPO where he fakes the handoff. Safety comes up, slant behind, catches it, takes it to the end zone. It's why has that not been more of a focal point?
Where does he take it?
To the house, excuse me.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to make sure the branding's correct.
Yeah.
But, why is that not more? It would seem so obvious with the running game and the receivers that you have that you would try to get the defense to bite on a run and then go over the top, which they did some good stuff. The wishbone formation, right? They do a play action, they throw it to Pfeiffer over their heads for 20 yards. It's
something we've been clamoring for, I think, since Colton Joseph hit that play last season against Georgia Southern for ODU. That was a primetime Thursday night game.
Yeah.
And we were texting, this was 365 days ago, we were texting during that game. We go, why can't JMU do that? They have Taylor Thompson at the time, who was a dog at tight end. And then it was great to see that they essentially used that play against ODU in this game. And it's just thank you. There it is. And to kind of take your play action point a step further, he was fantastic in the game. He's been fantastic this season on play action. It's his highest graded passing concept by a good amount. He's completing 66.7% of all of his play action passes, averaging the best out of all passing concepts, 8.4 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 big-time plays, no turnover-worthy plays. He is the best when they are utilizing play action, and they utilize it just 25% of the time this season. But it was a great step forward against ODU to see them start to utilize it even more.
Yeah, it was a perfect matchup to use it. They finally used it, and it worked very well. So I'd like to see that, be a thing in the future. But getting DeGeneiro involved was big. Everyone kind of talked about him, and good reason for it. 3 catches, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Landon Ellis, 6 for 97 again, though. He's emerged just like a reliable number 1 target for Barnett.
Yes. I mean, we kind of thought this coming into the season. At least I did. I don't know how high you were on Landon Ellis coming into the year. But that's not to throw shade at you. I just don't remember if you were as high as I was.
I was
on
not
Landon.
this high.
So I expected coming into the year that the Richmond duo would be wide receivers 1 and 2 in terms of yardage, targets, and receptions. It's taken a little while, but I believe now after this last game, Landon's number 1 in yardage, and Nick DeGeneiro might be 2 or 3 now.
Yeah, this was. He had 97 yards coming into the game, and then he doubled that in this one on just 3 catches. So it was good to see him actually get involved. I think he still only had the 3 targets that he did a lot with. So, you might want to see, even more out of him. But, they had 9 guys, I think, catch a pass. And earlier in the year, they were doing that. But, not having any passing yards. And it would seem irrelevant. Where it's hey, you have 9 guys catch passes for, 138 yards. That's not cool. But when you throw for over 300 yards as a team and you spread it out, then it becomes actually dynamic and something that'll stress a defense because they're getting chunk plays. They had explosives in this game. They ran it really well. They let Alonza use his legs, and he's real fast. He said he got to 20 miles an hour on the catapult on his 58-yard touchdown run. So that's pretty good.
He's such a funny quarterback because he's so fast just downhill.
Yeah.
And then, although his lateral quickness seemed to come back in this one, so I don't want to be too rude because his lateral quickness on that like roll out, avoiding the sack corner of the end zone rush, it was like, oh, that's the quarterback I remember.
That was nice. Yeah, he's sitting Mr. Reed there on a protection, so he let the guy come free accidentally and made the most of it, I would say.
I mean, shoot, if you're doing something on accident and resulting in a touchdown, you can do more things on accident more often.
I know. So that was huge. Like if he plays, and not if he plays like that, but if he plays, efficiently and makes some plays with his legs the rest of the year, given the defense, they're going to have chances. And there were some people who were like, if he plays like that, well, yeah, if he plays like that, they're never going to lose because he had 6 touchdowns and like 400 plus yards with no turnovers. Of course, if he plays like that, they're perfect. But he doesn't need to play like that. He just needs to not play like Georgia State. And he's done that for the most part in like G5 games. It just needs to be a little more consistent. You'd love to have a middle ground between 74 passing yards and like 300 passing yards.
And like 440 yards of total offense. Like
yes.
there is a middle point in there.
There's a big space for middle there.
And I'm going to need Dean Kennedy to find that middle point because it is there. But, I mean, just so much of it. The explosive plays, you mentioned it earlier, 16% of all of their plays were explosive. I did the math correctly this week after last week's
5% of 100% of their plays.
100% of the time, it works 51% of the time. But they had a successful play.
That's what it sounds like.
That's
how my brain processes it.
They had a successful play. Jeez Louise. Had a successful play on 48% of their plays, which was the top 80% of the nation.
That's really good.
16% of their plays were explosive. That 16% explosive play rate is their highest explosive play rate of the season. It ranked 98th in the 98th percentile this week. So, I mean, a masterful performance. And that's the confounding thing with this team and with Dean Kennedy. It's like, it's there.
When it's there, it's like really there. It's 70 against North Carolina. It's 63 against Ball State. It's 63 against ODU. Like, it's there.
And then when it's not there, it's not there. And I genuinely don't know the answer to finding a middle ground between it not being there. ULM last year, Georgia Southern last year, Georgia State this year, and it being there like the ODU game. The also funny thing about this team is they're like, and I forget who was talking about it, but like every week it's a new opportunity to see who's the starter. And that's why Wisłowski got 10 targets last week and was hardly used this week. And Nick DeGennaro gets 3 targets, makes the most out of all of them. It still confounds me. It confuses me on how they decide some of this stuff because Nick DeGennaro is clearly like the best wide receiver. I would love for him to get like 7 targets, Landon to get like 5, and then the rest get figured out from there.
Yeah, it was an interesting game, an interesting offense. Like Wisłowski was really good against Louisiana, and then they had that weird start to this one where he and Harris Lopez or apparently they said they called for the ball, but nobody could hear because it was right in the student section. It was really loud. So, like, I guess Wisłowski was saying, I got it, and then they talked about it on the sideline, and they're like, Curtis, did you hear? And he was like, well, no, otherwise I wouldn't have. Right?
Could you imagine?
I was like, it's mine, though. Like, ask the secondary kick returner.
Could you imagine? I got it. No, you don't.
And then that's one where you want him to take a knee there. Doesn't. It seemed like maybe he jumped again. I don't know. Like, Wisłowski loves a hurdle, man.
He did jump.
he's like, I got to show up this vertical. So that was a crazy, crazy bad start. And then they just rallied. The defense, though, stunk in the first half. And then they were like, hey, they got out pretty much all their good stuff. We know how to adjust. We make a few tweaks. We make sure there's pressure on them. And they give up 10 second half yards. No second half points. There was a play in the second half that should have been like a 70-yard touchdown pass, but it was dropped.
Yeah.
But overall, much better in the second half. pretty good overall. They still haven't allowed 300 yards in a game. Like, if they can have, a more efficient offense that's sort of, it doesn't have to score 63. It could score like 35 to 40.
Heck, it could score 20. And like the way this defense plays most of the time, it would work.
It's going to be in a good position. So, yeah, like this was exciting. This brought back some playoff feelings for me. This brought back like a lot of Sun Belt vibes of like, not only should JMU win the Sun Belt, like JMU should win this thing in Bridgeforth. Like they should be hosting that game. So this was a big one, I think, for like vibes, because they needed a vibes game, man. Their vibes were they were just kind of moseying along. The vibes are back.
Vibes are 100% back. And have you ever seen a game that crazy to start?
It was up there with like the North Carolina game. The North Carolina game last year was insane, like dizzying to start.
Can I just recap the first half?
Yes.
Touchdown, 2-yard fumble return, the fumbled kickoff, 6 seconds in, JMU down 7-0. Then, just 2 minutes later, Alonza Barnett with a 58-yard touchdown run to tie it. Then, a lot of time goes off the clock here. 9 minutes without a score, as it was a one-play, 98-yard touchdown reception from Trey Brown. That's pretty good. That was pretty solid.
Nice, man. He's fun to watch.
And then, what is that? 50 seconds later, 65-yard touchdown reception from Nick DeGennaro.
Yeah.
Then 3 minutes later, Trey Brown, 11-yard touchdown reception from Colton Joseph. Then, to start the second half, Nick DeGennaro, 7-yard pass. Sorry, second quarter. Nick DeGennaro, 7-yard touchdown reception. Then about 5.5 minutes later, 16-yard pass from Colton Joseph to find Dawson Johnson. Then 5 minutes later, Jordan Fuller bangs it in from 2 yards out. We head into half, 28-27.
It was nuts.
Just back and forth. Play chart. I can't even. It's just insane.
It's dizzying. And then the
touchdown,
start of the third quarter
touchdown. Yeah, and then the start of the third quarter, we've got pick, touchdown, punt, muffed punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown. Interception, fourth quarter. And I know I'm just like reading how every drive ends, but it's
crazy. When you like put it like that, it's like, oh, like every drive had something happen in it. Like usually you're going to have some 8 plays, 42 yards punt, but it was just a lot of like chaos throughout the entire game. And JMU created more of the chaos in the second half and kind of got things rolling, but it spiraled in an interesting way. And then Ricky Ronnie, I guess we were talking to David Teal in the press box. He had said that in the second half, he felt like his team lacked like conviction. And David Teal was like, that's kind of weird. Like it was a 1-point game at halftime. I think like lacking conviction would be like the last thing that could possibly happen. And apparently Ricky Ronnie was like, yeah, that's what I thought too. Like he was pissed because JMU clearly came out in the second half and felt like, all right, we're going to go win the game. And I think ODU was like, all right, we just threw a lot of haymakers and we're trailing by a point.
That is a scary way to look at it from ODU's perspective.
Yeah.
But like this was an ODU team that coming in, I think you throw out the Marshall game, and I know some JMU fans are like, they're not even that good. No, this is good. This is a good ODU squad. Colton Joseph is one of the best quarterbacks in the Sun Belt, and JMU made him look like one of the worst, especially in the second half. Although that dropped catch, that would have been like a 75-yard touch. That maybe changes the game. But, JMU getting the 2 picks on Colton Joseph in the second half flipped the script entirely. But I think the true point in the game where things flipped on its head was the muffed punt. Because at that point, it was only 35-27.
Yeah.
So if ODU cleanly fields it, and goes down the field to score a touchdown or even a field goal, and they start to find a rhythm again in that offense, I think it's completely different. Instead, it's a muffed punt, and then, all of a sudden, it's 42-27, and then the next time ODU gets the ball, they go back 10 yards. They have to punt on a very quick 3-and-out, and JMU punches them in the mouth again, making it 49-27 heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it went from wow, this is going to be an all-time shootout to Matthew Sluka's in the game. It's garbage time with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was crazy.
I haven't seen a game like that And that was one of the most fun college football games I've ever watched.
Sluka cooked, too. He had some good garbage time. He had a big run, 18-yard touchdown pass to Smoke.
Sluka geeks because it is very clear that when he is throwing, they're like, throw here and don't do anything else. And he's like, aye, aye, Captain. Because Smoke Collins was covered. Like,
he's like, I don't care.
He was the ODU defender. Great job. He was on him like white on rice. Like that. It
was great coverage, yeah.
And then Smoke just was like, thank you, over the helmet, and I'm going to yoop. And then he scores the touchdown. But it's very – Sluka has done that on multiple occasions this season. Like his touchdown on the fade ball in the Weber State game was very clear, like, throw that. His interceptions have very been clearly like, throw that. And even that was just like, throw that. But he finally threw a pass. First time since Louisville.
Yeah, we needed that. That one felt validating for fans too, though, right? Especially for us, I feel like, when like you throw a jump ball to Smoke and he mosses a guy, and we've been talking about like just throwing 50-50 balls. This is what we're saying, man. Smoke's like wide receiver
five, six,
yeah. And he mossed a guy, and it's like, okay. That's what we're talking about. Like sometimes you just got to give your dudes a chance because they can make some plays.
The last 2 weeks have kind of felt like they listened, and I know To the House kind of made this joke where, they listen, they're doing play action. It does, and I think it's just because we're saying like the very obvious things when you look at the stats. Good at play action. Do that more often. You have a 6'3" big body wide receiver in Landon Ellis. Maybe throw him the ball more. Like we're saying very obvious things, and then the team is like now starting to do it. So we'll take full credit. Yeah, it's all us. But like that's the funny thing. Like they just have started doing things that you're like, yeah, why weren't you doing that before?
Right, and then Joby had a first down carry, 3rd and short, gets it for a first down, 100% success rate. No surprise there.
Our king.
Wayne Knight also, like, not getting a lot of attention. Just really good in this one again. Like a one-handed catch on a swing pass that was sick. The moves he makes, like, are unbelievable. There's the one run he had that was long to the outside where he takes the corner and was like, I don't think he's going to be able to get the corner. And then he completely gets the corner. I'm like, oh my God. Like, he's fast. And then he lowers his shoulder at the goal line and, like, rams a safety. It's like, you're 5'7", 180. My God, I love that guy.
He's very good at the sport of football. Like,
unbelievable.
It is insane that he was RB5 under Kurt Cignetti.
How?
He has 607 rushing yards this season, 6.6 yards per attempt, which is just so good. He's averaging 3 yards after contact, which is really solid. I mean, the dude's a monster.
I think he's second nationally now in all-purpose yards per game with like 140 or something.
Yeah.
I think Cam Cook, Jacksonville State, might be the one who's ahead, or Colin Lacey or something. I think it's Cam Cook at Jacksonville State. But he's a stud. Like, they have weapons offensively. That's what we've been talking about. They finally got him to work a little bit. And I'm interested to see if they can keep it rolling, because the rest of the Sun Belt teams are, like, respectable on the schedule, but they suck defensively.
The whole Sun Belt kind of is, like, a weird thing.
I guess the West has, like, I think Southern Miss and Troy attempt to play defense.
Where did Troy come from? Because didn't Troy stink to start the year?
That's culture, man.
Coastal's 3-1 in conference play,
and they're bad. They're a bad football team.
Like the same Coastal that ODU beat 47-7, and everyone agrees that they're one of the worst teams in conference.
They're 3-1 in conference play, and what are their losses? It's like a 40-point loss to UVA. It's like another 40-point loss to ECU, and they're 4-3 with like 3 40-point losses. What's their point differential? They probably have a
negative point differential. Yeah. It's hilarious. And then you got Marshall, who's the East is bad. Like the East outside of JMU is bad.
Marshall's scrappy at least.
Yeah, they're scrappy. But my point is, Western Division is going to be the one. Like at this point now, you want to win out these games so you can host the conference championship, because it's looking like either Southern Miss or Troy will likely win out. Of course, that is how it works, because they play each other.
Yeah, one of them is going to have a good chance to get to 7-1 or 8-0 in league play, because they just seem like they have a level of competence on both sides that is nice. Where like the East teams seem like they can score some points, and then their defenses are just bad.
Yeah. Any other takeaways from this game? I mean, defense is elite. How do they keep their under 300 yard streak going?
That's going to be tough with some of the offenses coming up, but man, they're cooking. The other takeaway, and they mentioned this on To the House too, but like, this might have been Chesney's like, take it out of town, man. This was a really good performance against a really good G5 team. He's going to have a lot of suitors.
I think this one put him on Virginia Tech fans' radar too.
Yes.
Because like, this whole process, you've been hearing Virginia Tech, we want to go after Shane Beamer. We want to get James Franklin. Like, they're going after the big names. And whenever you brought up Bob Chesney, they'd like be like, eh. And you're like, all right, well, that's a little rude. That's kind of really rude. And then after this game, I've seen all like the fan accounts of Virginia Tech be like, have y'all heard of this Bob Chesney over there at JMU? And it's like, oh no, they found him. They found him.
Wait, you can beat ODU? Like, when you host them, they don't have to beat you by 20? Wait, Marshall did that too? Wait a second here.
We go after Tony Gibson, too. Who knew that? Wait, you can win football games? Wait, you can hire a football coach and they don't get fired?
And the best part of these now is, like, these fans that, like, they used to do, like, you know, flight track, and they used to be dogs. I feel like fans used to be dogs. Now it's just AI slop of somebody who doesn't even look like Chesney, and there's like, here's Bob Chesney at Virginia Tech thing. It's like, that's not even him. You gotta stop using ChatGPT for this.
Here we go. I'm about to step on a soapbox. You ready for this?
Yeah.
This is to every JMU fan out there, Virginia Tech, college football at large. And I'm about to, a curse word might slip out here, so just get ready. Get off of ChatGPT. Stop with the, I won't say that. Stop with the freaking AI slop. It is stupid. It's idiotic. No one likes it. It's ugly. It makes the fan base look stupid. Get that out of here. AI slop is the single worst thing to happen to college football fans since the invention of college football fans. Stop with the freaking AI slop, man. I don't want to see a random Duke dog that looks more like a lion than a dog holding up a freaking flag that says Kings of the Commonwealth. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Savage Duke dog, too. You got a fake Duke dog made in ChatGPT. Congrats, you know how to type in make a Duke dog. That takes no skill. And it's... We don't even have to get into the environmental impact of you having a good time on ChatGPT. You're killing trees. You're heating up our environment. Look, I'm not some left-wing nut over here, but there are real ramifications of AI use and ChatGPT use. You're giving... Stop with the AI slop. It is so stupid.
It's really bad. And it's usually with, like, a post that would be fine on its own, or honestly just rip off like the photographers and just post a photo of the game.
Take the JMU pictures. Like,
yes,
just download them. You know, okay, if you don't know how to download an Instagram picture, I'm sorry that you're 45 and you don't understand how technology works. You type in download Instagram picture on Google and you just plug in the link, you download it, and boom, bam, you got the picture. You can post it on your really cool stat graphics or stat tweets that you want to do. I'm all for the stat tweets. I love those tweets. I hate it when it's like a JMU logo that's just barely off, created by AI, that looks like my left hand drew it in with crayon. Stop with that.
Yeah, and it's nice, like, it'd be cool to see, like, your stat with, like, a current player instead of, like, you know, AI Chesney that, like, doesn't look right. Like, it's just weird. I'm not a fan of the...
I hate AI slop.
Yeah, because it really is just, like, gross nothingness.
It's stupid. It takes the heart out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we used to have memes. We used to have people making memes. They had to use their creative juices, man.
Yes.
We had some creativity. We had some fun stuff. And now
that's why we love Richie Goodman. Although I do think his Twitter profile picture is AI. You're being watched pretty closely there, Richie Goodman. But he's funny.
Keep tabs.
Yeah, Richie Goodman, I think, does use AI slop. So I hate him for that, but I love him for his good memes. His ODU video of the dog peeing and it was like ODU in the second half. That's creativity. That's good. You remember back to a meme video you saw and you you bring it up when it's relevant, you know?
No, we gotta dig him a little there. I think he also used the peeing dog before the game, saying when Alonza Barnett has to pass.
Oh, double usage. That's tough.
So we might want to see, like, is there a different dog peeing that you could find, right?
Yes. We're calling on you at JMU Hater. Maybe variety in your peeing.
If you're at a park, could you take your own video, right? Like, that's the creativity.
Not of you peeing, of your dog peeing.
Yeah, dog peeing, yes. If you see a random stranger's dog, could you run over, quickly get a video? Like, that's the kind of, we want to see above and beyond, right? The standard is the standard with memes. Can you imagine? Just go sprinting over. It's for a meme. It's fine. Dog would be like, what the hell? Am I getting charged right now?
The dog would. Yeah. Not the owner.
The owner would be like, it's for a meme, bud. Calm down.
It's for a meme, Max.
Last thing I'll say. From covering the game in person, the walk from the press box to, they don't just have you turn around anymore, which I guess has been changed for 5 years.
That's so inside baseball.
Anyway, you have to walk to the team room, but on your way there, like through not really the locker room, but near the locker room, there's a hallway, and I was like walking back out, and I like did a double take. They had pictures of JMU beating Louisiana, like it was Jacob Thomas grabbing the interception in the end zone to seal the Louisiana win, and obviously like that's intentional. And I wonder if it's this is cool, or if it's just a, hey, like when they're walking out onto the field or whatever, they're walking through the hallway into the locker room, they see like an image of themselves having success on the same field a week ago. I don't know if it's like that detailed, but I did think it was a really nice touch, because I feel like a lot of the time when you go into a locker room or these things, it's just like photos of guys who made it to the NFL. But to see like guys last week who were cooking, I thought was a fun touch, regardless of who came up with the idea.
I wonder if it's also like you do a good play, you get on the wall.
Maybe, yeah.
Like kind of every part of that. So yeah, that's a good observation.
I thought it was interesting.
Good eye there, B-Con.
Yeah, thank you.
You mentioned it earlier. I want to get your vibe check though on college football playoff. Are they back in the discussion? Do we have to follow?
They've been back, baby.
I hate college football playoff discussion.
Why?
Because they haven't won a Sun Belt. They haven't played in a Sun Belt championship. That's my first.
Oh, you never looked at Seahawks playoff standings until week 18?
Yeah, Seattle's won a Super Bowl.
So is JMU, Brad. FCS national title.
Did you just call me Bud?
That's the standard. Is the standard, pal. Gee.
No, so like college football playoff is cool, but it's so outside of JMU's control. That I hate following it. I follow the Sun Belt, and like, all right, what does JMU need to do to host a Sun Belt championship? Whereas with the college football playoff, it's like, all right, guys, if Tulane loses this week and Navy loses, but USF wins, we vault to the second favorites to make the college football playoff, and then we gotta pray that USF loses, and if that happens, then we have to win out. And if we win out, we have a 72% chance of making it. I hate it. You know what we have a 100% chance of if we win out? Hosting the Sun Belt championship game.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I'm back in on the playoff hype, man. I'm going to be keeping eyes on G5 scores like you wouldn't believe. FPI looks like they're down today.
You already do that.
With their percentage. Yeah, that's true. Their percentages. But it was 7.3% chance to make the playoff. Now, it's worth noting that FPI is like kind of shit. So, like, when we use their percentages, like, their percentages are also bad.
Well, their percentage at one point had ODU at, like, a 50%
20% or something, yeah, like, way high percentage, which was just absolutely ridiculous. And ODU fans are like, we always had those playoff dreams. It's like, yeah, if you're an idiot who doesn't know anything about football, like, on no circumstances was this ODU team going to make the college football playoff. It's still probably the American champ, whatever. But, yeah, I'm keeping tabs now. Because if they go 12-1, I think they'll be in the mix.
ODU has hurt me again. Like, every year I come in and I'm like, they're my dark horse pick. I can't believe it. They started this season so hot, and I was like, here we go, brother. They won that first Sun Belt game. Oh, buddy, this is about to be a good time. And then they've fallen on their face. I don't know if you've looked at ODU's remaining schedule, too. They have one surefire win left. They need to win 2 to be bowl eligible.
They'll get there.
Their next game is against a scrappy App team who gave them fits last year. Them. They've got the same record as ODU now.
But App sucks.
Okay, that's fair. But so I'll give them a 65% chance of winning that game. At ULM, we all know weird things happen at ULM. Troy's undefeated now. Georgia Southern in Statesboro, and I know we're a JMU podcast, but if you look at ODU's record or remaining schedule, they've got work to do to become bowl eligible.
No, they're making a bowl.
I hope they do, so I don't look like an idiot.
They're beating they're beating UL Monroe. They're upsetting Troy. They're beating Georgia. No, they're not losing. They'll lose to Georgia Southern on the road, and then they'll beat Georgia State. 8-4. Good year for Ronnie.
Keeps him around for another year.
Keeps him around and saves his job.
I do love the hatred he has for Chesney.
Oh, it's gonna grow.
It grew. It's like the Grinch's heart.
Yeah.
It grew 2 sizes that Saturday. All right. Do you want to move to listener questions? No, before we do listener questions, let's do listener voicemails.
Okay, yeah.
Got a couple. I will say, JMU, and I think we said this a couple of weeks ago, JMU fans, us included, are the ultimate pessimists. Our voicemails off the hook after a loss. We had over 30 voicemails following the Louisville loss. In the wins since, I think we have a combined 30 voicemails. Like, there's just something about losing that makes JMU fans want to yell their hearts out on a voicemail line. But this is my urging to all of our listeners. The voicemail, it's open for you. We want to hear from you. Win, loss, or draw, which is impossible at the college level, we want to hear from you. Bookmark this number now, 540-227-0881. We tweet it out after every game as well. Even when it's a dominant win, we want to hear your pure elation after that win. So we're going to step aside. We'll be back. Some listener voicemails here on the JMU Sports News Podcast. Then after listener voicemails, we'll be back with listener questions. Stay with us. For more than 20 years, SignPro has been proudly serving the Valley, helping local businesses stand out and get noticed. Whether it's vehicle wraps that turn heads on the road, dimensional signs that elevate your storefront, or long-lasting banners with yard signs, we bring quality and experience to every project. With a reputation built on craftsmanship and trust, we're here to make your message impossible to miss. Visit mysignpros.net and let's showcase your business with confidence. That's mysignpros.net. Big win, huge play. Don't just remember it, wear the moment. Breaking Tea makes shirts that capture the game's biggest highlights right as they happen. Gear up today using the link in the description. College football's back, and it's time to upgrade your game day gear. Right now, claim 15% off at Home Field. The best retro and vintage apparel in the game. Rep JMU in style. Don't wait. Check the link in description to get your 15% off. Every Monday, go to the house with former JMU quarterback Vad Lee and Hall of Famer Delvin Joyce. It's the weekly JMU football podcast with insider insight you won't find anywhere else from two guys who've worn the jersey. Listen now. Subscribe to the JMU Sports News Podcast Network to never miss an episode of To the House every Monday.
Go Dukes! And it's JMU fan Jack here from Twitter. Heck of a second half. And honestly, a great first half from the offense. Defense looked a little rough, but they made up for it in the second half. The crazy thing is, we held another team to under 300 yards. And ODU had 275 at halftime, and they still couldn't get 300 yards. Heck of a performance by both sides of the ball in the second half, and offense the entire game. And also another thing, I better not hear any Alonza Barnett slander. None. And this is coming from one of the biggest this is coming from a huge Camden Coleman fan. I went viral for I made the viral tweet about Camden Coleman, and I better not hear any Alonza Barnett slander this week on Twitter or anywhere. Go Dukes. I'm so hyped for the rest of the season. This is a great fucking football team. Let's go win the Sun Belt. Go Dukes.
Pablo Hassan here. Known, not huge fan of Barnett, but my God, that was the best game he's played ever. He was great tonight. If we can get more of this, we're not losing another game the rest of the season. He was poised. He was hitting people in stride. Missed a few in the second quarter towards the end, but dude was excellent. Can't be happier for him. So happy to be able to root for my quarterback. Great game, guys. Go Dukes.
This is for Pablo Hassan, who criticized AB3 for so long. Suck it. He's the best quarterback on the team. Deal with it.
Hey guys, this is Sean. I just wanted to call in and shout out AB3. This guy not only contributed 6 touchdowns tonight, but also accepted my LinkedIn connection request afterwards. AB3 gets too much hate on here, especially from Jack. We're so lucky to have him and should all be more thankful for his efforts, myself included. Tonight was fantastic. We curb stomped ODU. Couldn't have gone better. Go Duke.
All right. Those were some fantastic voicemails. We appreciate you guys for leaving them. 540-227-0881. You can leave a voicemail after each and every game. You can drop your mid-game thoughts as well. We had mid-game thoughts last week. So appreciate everyone who calls in on our voicemail line. You can do it too as well, 540-227-0881. And as a housekeeping note, we are going to be doing our Texas State preview later on this week due to the funky schedule where JMU does not play a Saturday game until November 8th because this Saturday's technically their bye week. They play Tuesday, and that's the start of the following week, which means they then don't play Saturday the next week. So for the next 2 Saturdays, JMU will not be playing, which is a bit of a bummer. But it opens up a lot of stuff on my schedule. I mean, my Saturdays all of a sudden wide open.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't hate it.
I kind of don't either. It makes me be like, why did I want to get into podcasting about a G5 school, you know?
Exactly.
If I had known 8 years ago that this would pay me $2 a month, I don't know if I would have gotten into 8 years of this.
But here you are. You're stuck.
Yeah, we're stuck now. I mean, we've got to keep it going. Before we move to listener questions, can we react to this quote?
Okay.
From here, the message has to be kill.
Who?
Newsworthy or snoozeworthy?
Newsworthy there for Alonza, who had a lot of, like, deflecting credit. He was like, you know, just all credit to the game plan, all credit to my coaches and my teammates. And then out of nowhere, he's like, yeah, you know, from here, the message has to be kill. Huh? It's like, there we are. I like that. All right. From here, we just got to murder people. Sick. Did not expect him to say that. But I like that he said it.
It's a great quote.
It is a good quote.
He's such a good quarterback. Like, when I saw him scamper for the 58-yard touchdown run, you know what I thought to myself? Oh, we're winning this game. He's about to have a career day. Like, it's over. If he had gotten caught from behind, we would have lost the game.
Can't catch him from behind. Too fast.
20 miles an hour.
That's what he was saying. I think he was telling Rigger maybe that, like, they called the play and that was a play they had set up all week, and I guess he told Jordan Fuller in the huddle he goes touchdown. And it's like, oh, I get why they like this guy.
I just need that version of him every week. All right.
Yeah, you just need 400-plus yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks every week. And if he does that, man, it's game over.
I mean, he might be in the Heisman conversation.
He got added to, like, the Davey O'Brien watch list or something. I was like, okay.
I was like, you guys clearly don't watch
reactionary.
Yeah, you guys. Reactionary. All right. Did you have something to say there?
No, it was just funny. It's like the fans reacted to it too because it is so hot and cold sometimes where it's like, oh my God, you got to bench this guy. And then it's like, we have the best quarterback in the G5. It was 2 weeks ago. It was like, oh, we can't complete a pass. And now it's like, which guy is he going to complete the pass to? Right? It's just like a crazy couple of weeks.
And that's the Alonza Barnett III experience. The highs are so high.
And what could possibly be weird about Dean Kennedy and Alonza Barnett hitting the road for a Tuesday night game in Texas? I'm sure that'll all go according to plan. It's going to be nuts.
You know, JMU, historically very good at plane ride games.
There's one thing we know about this team. It's that they love to get on a plane and go to sort of an obscure location.
One that requires a plane ride and then a longer bus ride, because I don't think there's any accessible airports in San Marcos, Texas.
San Marcos?
It's pronounced San Marcos.
Really?
I'm 99% sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like San Marcos, but I believe it's pronounced San Marcos.
That's news to me.
Texans.
Okay.
All right, first one. Daniel Merriman, does the fast start for the offense become underrated when you give up 27 in the first half?
I think the offense getting some necessary credit. I think part of the thing is that like they haven't pieced together a fast start as a team. So it's like they still only led by one despite like scoring more points than they had in the like 28 first half points after scoring 24 in the whole game against Louisiana and 14 the whole game against Georgia State was definitely like, oh. But the fact they were only up one is part of why people are like, what the hell's going on in these first halves?
Yeah, it was an odd start. It was a fun start to the game. I will say, in the defense's defense, one of those touchdowns is a special teams one, and then the 98-yard one is just like tough, tough.
Longest play allowed in team history.
Shout out the Slack channel.
Shout out to the Slack channel.
Skins HQ asked, when are you guys going to make Richie part of the JMU News team?
We're working on some face reveal stuff, but like we talked about, right? It's when he stops posting the same dog peeing. It's when he gets a second dog.
I would not be shocked if we get a second dog, like him posted up in a park.
An AI dog.
Well, if it's an AI dog, you've not seen the last of me.
Yeah, Jack's gonna beat you up if he posts an AI dog.
me. I'm gonna beat you up. Bilbo said and asked, first off, you might have found a knack in manifesting results.
We manifested Nick. Not his hard work behind the scenes or like anything they've done schematically. It was our tweet. We did.
I do love how he had 3 targets in the game, and like he had 6 targets against Louisville, 5 targets against Liberty, now 3 against Old Dominion, 3 against Georgia Southern, 2 against Louis. Like, this wasn't some like crazy they started getting him the ball more. No, they got him the ball the same amount. The difference is he was thrown catchable passes.
Yeah, like up those targets.
I would love to see him average 7 targets a game.
That'd be sick, man.
The remainder of the season. Because at the current rate, he is getting, all right, let's quickly do this math. He has 203 yards this season. He's averaging 9.7 yards per target.
Gotta up it.
Which is very good.
Yeah.
Yards per target. And a lot of those targets are uncatchable. So, not to keep diving into nerd stats here, but he has 11 catches on 21 targets. Just as a 52% reception rate.
Yeah, like he's got to get more, and then if he can get more catchable, like he does a lot after the catch, man. He's quick, shifty, fast. He's good.
I mean, first guy in, last guy out type of mentality. Real coach's kid.
Yeah.
Maybe start a crystal ball segment with the rest of the season. Maybe start a crystal ball segment. That goes back to being good at manifesting. And then the second part of this tweet from Bilbo. With the rest of the season looking like trap games, well, if every game's a trap game, then none of them are trap games because that then goes against the definition of trap game.
Walk into the trap, take over the trap.
All right, Kirk Cousins. Which opponents scare you the most, and do you think this result is JMU turning a new leaf in offensive efficiency, or is ODU on a downturn? The last part of that question, I'll say yes.
I think it is. Downturn?
I think it's both. Like, I think ODU's kind of on a downturn because they've started to turn the ball over at a much higher rate than they were when they were winning to start the season. And their Achilles heel last season, Colton Joseph, Achilles heel has been turning the ball over. And I was talking with them in preseason media day, and they have something hanging up in their meeting rooms, like their record when they don't turn the ball over under Ricky Ronnie, and they're like undefeated. And then they have a very bad record when they turn the ball over 1 or more times. And so, like, their focus all offseason was don't turn the ball over, They didn't really to start the season, and now they're starting to here these last couple of games. So I think that's the cause for the ODU downturn. However, JMU, I do think they've turned over a new leaf in the offense. Maybe I'm being reactionary, but it seemed like, here's the part of the playbook that had accidentally stuck together.
Yeah, and I was looking at this. The last 4 Sun Belt opponents are, let's see what we got here. We have Texas State, 115th nationally in scoring defense. Marshall, 110th. And then you do have some juggernaut, like these guys can play. Coastal Carolina, 99th. Top 100 scoring defense. Okay, Coastal, I see you. App State, 98th. It's like the 85 Bears in Boone this year. So, no, like the defense is coming up in Sun Belt play stink. Like they give up a lot of points. They have a lot of flaws. So, like, yeah, the offense should cook the rest of the season in league play. And then Washington State is 91st. They seem like they've shown a little bit here the last few weeks, but there's a very good path to JMU's offense scoring a bunch of points the rest of the year.
Texas State, their next opponent, 11th in the Sun Belt out of 14 teams in defensive EPA. App State is 8th in defensive EPA. Marshall's a little bit better, but they rank 93rd in the country in defensive EPA. Coastal ranks 83rd in defensive EPA. For all intents and purposes, the Sun Belt kind of stinks defensively this year.
Yeah, are App and Coastal like top half of the Sun Belt?
Pretty much.
That's hilarious, but they're like 90th nationally. Yeah.
App, Marshall, and Coastal are all top half of the Sun Belt. Wow. App ranks 108th in defensive efficiency, defensive EPA. Marshall ranks 93rd. Coastal ranks 83rd. The third best defense, according to EPA, in the Sun Belt is Southern Miss, and they rank 55th in the nation.
JMU first, I assume?
Yeah, 16th in the nation.
That's very funny. It's like the Fun Belt, and then like you have Colin Hitchler just like ruining it for everyone. It's like, what are you doing here, man? It doesn't fit the vibe.
What coach was it that said that what he's running just shouldn't be done on first and second down?
I think Louisiana had mentioned like you're not really supposed to do those pressures like on the first down. Like it's like we see teams do like these exotic pressures on third down, but when it's 1st and 10, he has like 3 defensive linemen standing up. It's like what are you doing?
There was the Jacob Thomas sack.
Yes.
Where he lines up over the center, they snap it, he runs backwards, goes to the left side of the line because they know that's where Colton Joseph likes to bail out of when a pocket's being pushed on him, bails out right into Jacob Thomas. And it's like, that should not be a pressure that you can just execute in a Saturday in October.
And they gave him Hitchler like the silly contract where he's making like $175K this year, and if he stays next year, it's like $375,000. But it was essentially like a hey, like you got fired by Bama, just come hang out in Harrisonburg for a year with your guy Chesney, and then go back to a huge job.
I mean, there's a strong likelihood that he ends up as a G5 coach, like a G5 head coach,
if he wants it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, the next one is Andrew. Since JMU is obviously going to be in the playoffs now after this one impressive game, how is JMU Nation going to deal with Chesney's near-certain departure days before their first playoff game? A certainty so the coach can build his new team in the sole transfer window.
I think they did something to try to make it not happen like that.
The transfer window now opens in January.
And I think if you're in the playoff, you even have a later window when you can enter.
Yep, so your 2-week transfer portal window opens the day after your team loses.
Yeah, so you do have, like, they wouldn't be totally screwed.
No. So the team that, because it's the semifinals occur after the transfer portal window has closed, like where you can enter the transfer portal has closed.
So if you
then get a new 14. So really, the transfer portal window to open, it's a little confusing, but it opens for 14 days after every team loses semifinals and on.
Yeah. So if they play in the playoff in like mid-December, the actual portal isn't even open yet.
Yeah, and technically the champion, they never get to enter the portal. That's the benefit of winning the championship, because you never lose. It never opens for you. So if you win the national championship, you're on the team forever. That's a joke, of course. That's a joke. You were thinking, I saw the wheels turning a little
all
bit.
JMU has to do. No, I think the problem, I guess, when this isn't a real like possibility, but if they won like a bunch of playoff games, then you might get concerned that he would want a different job so that he could build out his other team at the beginning of the window.
Yeah.
But that would require, like, at that point, if you're like worried, like, whoa, my God, we won too many playoff games.
I do love the champagne problems that JMU has of like,
yeah.
Oh, we're so good that we're going to lose our coach. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech's like, shut the up. Like, we want to coach. And meanwhile, JMU fans are like, oh, so difficult being the best G5 team.
I am interested to see what Chesney does, because it's not a certainty that you leave
Great
JMU
take.
and you cook. Right? Like, Withers did not, Houston did not, Signetti has. But I don't think it's like a guarantee that Chesney goes. Like, he has to be careful about the P4 he picks, I think.
Yeah, I think it was very intentional where Kurt Signetti landed. Like,
yeah.
I think if Indiana, I know you've probably heard the interviews. I don't know if our listeners have, but if you go back and like listen to his interviews that he was doing after he was hired away, he said they assured me there was going to be a renewed investment in football. They had like money in hand to show them that there was a renewed investment in football. And that was the biggest reason for him leaving. And so I think Chesney, wherever he goes, has to go to a place where they have that renewed investment in college football. And it's not them just being like, we want to win with a new coach.
Right.
Like Oklahoma State, not saying he's going to go to Oklahoma State, but I don't think there's like a renewed investment in football. They're just like, Mike Gundy, gone. Can you just like take over now? Where Virginia Tech, I think there's a renewed investment in college football with Virginia Tech. So I think that is actually a good spot if he ends up being hired by them.
Agreed.
Which would be such a slap in the face. However, that game next year probably would not be canceled due to the buyout.
Yeah, I don't think it seems like it'll stay, which might be almost worse, man. Like, he goes to Virginia Tech, and if he beats you,
it's like your ex-girlfriend winning.
yeah, pretty much.
Literally. DJ Festivus. Yes. If called upon, will our kicker be able to kick a field goal of 40 yards or more? Only noticeable team weakness right now. 2 for what? 3 for 6?
3 for 6, but he's 0 for 3, 40 plus, and he also kicks it like super low.
Yeah, because one of those 3 misses is a block.
Even the extra points come out like.
Yeah, every time I see him run onto the field, I get really nervous, and I'm in the camp of Delvin, where he said this on To the House. Cancel the Pat and Mo show. You have to have a above 50% kick percentage to have a talk radio show from Lido Pizza in Harrisonburg.
Still love that take from Delvin. Just like so mad that the specialists have a show. And I don't disagree. I think it's one that opens them to like unnecessary criticism. But
yeah, I might be a caller into the show next week.
Yeah, I am concerned if they like need a field goal from like 42 yards. How's that going to look?
But from 39, I feel fine.
Yeah, if it's like 38, game over, good job.
Those 9 feet, big difference.
Yeah, it breaks them.
Joey Needham asked, are we back? Does this one game change your outlook for the rest of the season? That second half was a small sample size of this team's potential, in my opinion.
I feel like they should have been cooking for a while now. So this made it seem like, okay, maybe they can. Like, we've been talking about how they're playing exceptional defense, and if they just, like, could throw a pass, they would kill teams. And they threw some passes.
And they killed a team.
Yeah.
And what Alonza Barnett said.
That's the message. The message is to kill.
To kill.
He's an assassin.
I did like how he didn't say to kill. He just said the message from here is kill.
Yes.
So not like a verb. He didn't make it like an action. He just like used it as an adjective. Okay, sure. Tom.
Economy.
That's not it. It's an OU at the end.
Yeah, it's close though. It's close though.
All right. Does JMU rewrite Chesney's contract and up his buyout? What plans are in place to reload? Funny you should ask. I think Bennett's got a replacement draft cooking.
Oh yeah, man. I got plenty of names in mind. I don't know, like
right
Byington,
on Chesney.
Yeah, Byington did that, right, where he did him a solid and like renewed and upped his buyout during their great season. So I'm sure Roan's having conversations about extending him or at least figuring things out. It's up to, Chesney's got a good position where he doesn't have to agree to an extension.
Do we have Chesney's contract? Love JMU Sports News? Help us keep bringing you the best coverage we possibly can. Support the show and fuel our work at buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News. Every cup keeps us rolling all season long. Buymeacoffee.com/JMU Sports News.
Okay. Chesney, buyout. If he leaves for another group of 5 school not in the American, that seems highly unlikely. It's like $750K. If he leaves for a school in the American, it's $1 million. And if he leaves for a power conference school, it is, at least from the original contract, it is $1.25 million for the buyout.
That's not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money for a guy as good as him. So yeah, it's certainly not deterring anyone from scooping him.
No. All right. Well, that was nice find there, Bennett.
Extend our boy.
That would be nice. Pablo Hassan, how many people, myself included, will have to eat a healthy portion of crow after that game? Happy to do it. Hope it's a repeatable offense all season. Yeah.
Yeah, like Alonza shutting up the haters. But he did, if we remember, and I'm not trying to be overly skeptical, but I do need to see the consistency from him. That's the thing, because that
was literally what you said last week.
Right.
The difference is this game it was a full up, but on a down-to-down basis, he's been the best quarterback or the worst quarterback in the Sun Belt, and it results in him being just about average. You need to see it week over week, and this game was awesome, and I'm super excited for it, and I think it will be built upon, and they'll be moving forward. But there were legitimate concerns about his play and, honestly, the health of his rehabbed ACL. There were genuine concerns, decision-making, processing, all of that from earlier in the season. And this one game is awesome, but the sample over his entire career is that he'll have outliers, but they're outliers. But I hope this is the game that gets him back into a rhythm that we saw last year.
We'd like to see it, because Chesney had that famous quote where he's sassing people. He's like, if you're not on the bandwagon for Alonzo, there's no room left, after North Carolina or whatever. And then he had some rocky performances after that. So it's not the first time that he's made haters, eat their words, but it's a matter of just, can he continue that the rest of the year?
Yeah. And last question from JMU Football Talk. Thoughts on the upcoming road game against a lower-tier defense but a manageable offense of Texas State?
They can score, man. They're a little scary offensively. It's a winnable game, but it's weird that it's a Tuesday night on the road. I think that might be what gives me more pause than the opponent.
I absolutely love the Texas State fans that are like, yeah, we're 0-3, but we could be 3-0 if the ball bounces a different way. And, if we had won the games, because in fairness, Texas State does have 3 one-possession losses. I believe all of them are in overtime as well. They're 3 Sun Belt losses. So, very close to be. No, it was a 31-30 regulation loss, then a 48-41 overtime loss, and a 40-37 double overtime loss. So it's just funny how the Texas State fans are like, we're so close to being 3-0. And it's well, you're not, and your defense sucks.
And it's not like they were going through a murderer's row. It was Arkansas State, Troy, Marshall. Their wins are Eastern Michigan, UTSA, and Nichols. So it's not like they've done a
2
lot.
FBS wins.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of belief in them as a team.
I love GJ Kinney too. How he goes from trendy P4 potential coach to now maybe hot seat. I know he's not actually hot seat because he signed a pretty big extension, but it's just the Texas State tried and true method. Start hot, have all these expectations, and fall on your face.
It's so sick when a coach like that, their teams don't play defense, where they're like, we got an offensive guru. He's the man. He's getting a P4 gig. And then, they just consistently don't get any stops, and their fans are like, this sucks. What's going on?
We need a defensive guru.
Yeah, we just need a second guru.
Where's Colin Hitchler?
Yeah, Duke's got some gurus.
100. There's 133 teams in the Division I FBS.
136 with the newbies.
Okay, so there was 136 teams. We'll take out Alabama because they fired him. 135 teams had the opportunity to sign Colin Hitchler to a $100,000 contract. None of them did. And JMU did. And has the best defense in the group of 5.
Oh, man. That really was a crazy offseason hire.
Like, when JMU lost Lyle Hemphill, I thought to myself, that one's going to sting. And when they hired Hitchler, I was very excited. He has exceeded my expectations, and they are so good.
Yeah, anytime you got other head coaches being like, I didn't know, like, those are kind of crazy pressures to do on first down. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, he was at a Power 4 school for a little bit. He had some Cincinnati ties. Was kind of like he's been scheming how to stop, like, Ohio State and all these teams. And then he gets, like, Louisiana. He's got to just be like, hell yeah. This is going to be sick.
Wait, the quarterback's name's Lunch?
Yeah, and then, like, Colton Joseph, his only flaw is that he turns it over a ton. I'm sure Hitchler's like, oh, cool, that's his only flaw? That he can't take care of the ball, and they have these depressing signs across their locker room that's like, we suck when we turn it over. I feel like that's having the reverse effect on them.
All right, you took that little anecdote the complete wrong way.
That's having the reverse effect, man. It's like we lose every time we turn it over. Now they're depressed every time they turn it over.
Good point.
Psychology.
Have we gotten anywhere in getting Sabrina Carpenter on the pod?
No, I got to reach out again and see if we can get her on. She had SNL, which was, I guess, a big get for her. So she was focused on that.
I feel like, all right. I mean, to each their own.
I think she just wanted to get some reps in there, get used to sort of the big stage, and then she'll come here.
Yeah. She's really short.
Very short, yeah.
I didn't realize she was that short.
Really short, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. We get anywhere in playing K-pop Demon Hunters in the game?
I think they're going to do that, yeah. They did do a Bitcoin video mocking Chesney hacking, which is pretty good.
Also, they still haven't gotten that account back, which is... They DM'd us.
I don't think you can get it back. At this point, like a 63-27 win, I think you have to lean into it.
I
like
didn't think of that, yeah.
He should give some money to the hacker.
They need the contact. They did DM us, so we got a DM day of game. Hey, can you vote for me to co-host a podcast event hosted by Spotify and Google? As one of the few USA participants, it'd mean a lot if you could drop a vote for me. Appreciate you. Here.
And then former linebacker Julio IML had the same DM to us, which made me think that maybe he did vote for Chesney to host that podcast.
Oh, no. Did he? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. A current coach, I believe.
Is he on staff right now?
I think so. He clicked the link.
He must have clicked it. He must have voted for me. He was like, all right, Chaz.
Should we click the link?
It was the worst that could happen.
We get hacked. Speaking of that, maybe we should change all of our passwords. Jake Nelson, we got a couple late.
We got some ladies.
Questions. Should high school commitments just end? We didn't even mention this. Seeing a player continue to visit and gain offers from other schools after committing makes the gesture seem pretty empty. I don't disagree.
Verbal commitments are pretty empty. Maybe they get a different word for it. But yeah, Rocco Marriott, star quarterback. We've interviewed him before. He's getting offered by West Virginia and UCF now. So it seems like that one's probably
USF. UCF.
Yeah, probably going to be hard to keep him. I imagine there are also more around the corner, right? If you have like 2 Big 12 teams jumping in, like I can't imagine those are the last 2 to offer him in the cycle.
Yeah, essentially what students do, and correct me if I'm wrong, when they do a verbal commitment, it is them essentially being like, that's my scholarship until I sign it.
Yes.
And then coaches are still having to recruit them because like they've essentially just said, that's mine, but can very easily just be like, I don't want that anymore. I'm going to go to get this one. Like,
and in fairness to him,
you got to do it because they just as easily as you can verbally commit and leave, teams can just take a scholarship offer away from you if you don't verbally commit.
Yes.
Even after verbal commitment.
That's what I was going to say. Some coaches, like if Chesney does leave, there are coaches who would come into JMU and be like, hey, Rocco, like, congrats on the offer. You don't fit my system.
Which happened with Alonza Barnett and Ricky Ronnie. He was being recruited to ODU. Ricky comes in and takes away his offer, which is why Alonza hates ODU. And it also happened reportedly to this recruiting class when Chesney stepped in. He didn't take away their offers, but he put a pause on all of their offers, saying, like, I have to reevaluate if you guys fit our system, which is why there was so much turmoil in that class, because it was like days before signing day, and they all were like, well, do I have an offer? And it did screw over a couple of kids.
Yeah. Yeah, so like what it's, I don't know, you can't really get mad at the player. They're just trying to like lock in.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yes, it's very much that.
JMU_71, is AB3's explosion last week an aberration, or has he turned a corner in year 3? More importantly, will they play good, great ball all 4 quarters on the road? What about that O-line play, not just last week, but pretty much all season minus Louisville?
Offensive line has been good outside of the Louisville game. I think we both think AB3 is improving. And then, I don't know, we got to see it on the road. They have 2 big conference road games ahead. Like, can they keep the offense going in those? That's kind of the big question.
And one of those is a Tuesday night game on national TV in a scenario where they have not typically performed well, which is plane rides. And then they follow that up with a tough trip to Huntington, West Virginia.
They got extra time. Maybe they bus it.
Road trip! All right, for Bennett, Conlin, I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Have a wonderful rest of your day. If you enjoy the podcast, we appreciate if you buy us a coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JMU Sports News. And you can follow along with all of the happenings at JMU Sports News on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and YouTube, and our home on the web, JMUSportsNews.com. Have a great rest of your week. See ya.